am live. I need a microphone over here, huh? Okay. So I haven't made a video in forever. As many of you know, I made some pricing calculators, some packing spreadsheets for microgreens. And if you aren't aware, if you haven't kept up, we had to shut down our business earlier this year for unforeseen circumstances. One of them being that um, our home that we were living in, which we're actually in right now, we thought was going to get sold, and we didn't feel like setting up a new grow space for the third time in a year and a half, while continuing to use our current grow space and all of this other stuff. So, if we had had our way, we would have kept the business going, but the infusion of capital that would have been needed to do so and the amount of time and effort was not justifiable based on other income that we were getting from other places. But we still very much like microgreens. So recently, some of our old clients' friends decided that they wanted to try to grow microgreens. So they bought all of our equipment off of us. They've been growing without using the automated system yet for a few months. They're starting to get some clients. They're starting to bring in some interest from restaurants. Sorry, I had to close something that was making a lot of noise. Basically, they're starting to do well. I was over there last week, helped them get the automated microgreen system set up, the watering system, and I'm going to be going back over there tomorrow or another day. I'll have links to their website whenever it's up and running. But I just wanted to hop on here because, I still stay active in a couple of the microgreens groups. I still sell the spreadsheets because they're still effective, whether or not I'm using them. I mean, I made them to work, not necessarily for us, but, for everybody. So I hope you guys can hear me. I have no idea what the audio sounds like. And I don't care if anyone even ever watches this. But one of the things that I notice is I go into those microgreen groups and I see a lot of people that are getting started without thinking about what they're doing. They go and they see some videos from people who mean well, I'm sure, but that promise that you can make $1,500 a week starting out, or that in a year you can scale to $100,000 and you'll be awesome and you'll be making so much money and you'll enjoy what you're doing. The problem is not that that's not possible, it's that it's not possible without a lot of work. In our microgreens business, we were on pace with just the few restaurants that we had in the farmers markets to be profitable if we had kept going this year, or last year in 2021. And we were super excited for it. And then when it was determined that we would need to shut down or move to a new growth space, we were super bummed about it because running the math, we were going to be profitable for the first time after being in business for a year and 3/4 or 2 years. So it took a while, and we had done research beforehand. We live in a very affluent area of Pennsylvania, just north of Philadelphia. Lots and lots of high-end restaurants, Michelin star restaurants, all of that stuff. Food, high-end food is a very big thing around here. So, we could have been very successful. But one of the things that I wanted to touch on real quick in this video is a lot of people in the microgreens groups are under the false assumption that their labor is free. So if you run your own business and you do the math, and you do not calculate in your labor under the assumption that your labor is free, you end up pricing yourself too low. Because if you ever want to scale, you don't have labor in your costs. And therefore, when you go to hire employees, you're going to have to increase your prices or you're going to go out of business. You're not going to make a profit at all. Just because you aren't paying yourself for labor does not mean your labor is free. I mentioned this in the microgreens support group run by Donnie Greens. There are 5 currencies. It's an acronym called TIMER. There is time, identity, money, energy, and resources. Those are the 5 primary currencies that people trade and exchange for. So time is one of the biggest ones. You would never work for someone else for free in an 8 to 5 job. You just wouldn't do it. And if you would, great. You must have another means of making money because you shouldn't work for anyone for free unless it's volunteer work and you don't need it to survive. People are willing to trade identity, which is the second one. So some people will pay others to use their identity, either in promoting something or speaking at an event. You're trading your identity. Money is an obvious one. We use money as a means of exchange, a currency of exchange, so that you can get your goods without having to trade. You can get goods from other people without having to trade things that you produce directly. For instance, if someone grows apples and you grow oranges and you want their apples, but they don't want your oranges, you can sell your oranges to someone else for dollars and then take your dollars and buy apples. Energy is an obvious one. So it can be mental energy, it can be physical energy, it can be energy, electricity, gasoline, whatever. And then resources is an obvious one too. You can, someone comes onto your property and says, "Hey, I want to mine the back 40 of your property, and I think there's oil back there, and I want to lease the property from you." Then you're trading resources for money, or in that case, the potential for resources. So if you are under the false impression that your time is not valuable, that your time is not free, I highly suggest that you at least take a look at my other videos where I talk about my pricing calculator, because hands down, the biggest cost in growing microgreens right now is time, labor. It's absolutely the number one cost. And if you think otherwise, you aren't calculating your costs right. I am by no means a business expert. If I was, I'd be a lot richer than I am. We're doing quite well. We do crypto. I have another YouTube channel. I'm going to be starting to do some live videos on talking about some things I'm learning in a program called CCA and some of the things I've learned being in crypto and being in the orbit of particular people who I will talk about and maybe have on the channel if they're willing. But it's very interesting stuff. It's stuff I probably would have never learned if I hadn't gotten involved in crypto. And we make a fair amount of money in crypto, no matter what the market's doing, because of what we have been taught and the methods that we use in investing and the qualifications we have for investing. So yeah, I'll be talking about that. My other channel is called Nacho Fiat. I don't have a link for it. I'll get a link for it. I'll post it in the description or something like that. Wow, I'm already at 9 minutes. Amazing how much you can talk when you're just rambling. So anyway, I'll be posting some other stuff on here. Not sure what I'm going to post, but I will be doing some other videos talking about some stuff I see coming for microgreens and for growers of produce and farmers and stuff. I am, again, by no means an expert, but I think I can see some writing on the wall that some people just aren't aware of. So in the future, since I've got some free time on my hands, I will be making some videos. Shout outs to Donnie Greens and some of the other growers like On The Grow who are doing their best to make it easier for people to grow microgreens. I think microgreens are fantastic. We would still be growing microgreens ourselves if we had the time and the space. And we are going to start purchasing them from the people who took over, bought our equipment from us and are now growing, because they are so delicious and they're so good for you. And I particularly miss wasabi, and I miss wasabi mustard, and cilantro. I don't like full-grown cilantro, but cilantro microgreens are my absolute. Well, no, they're not my number one. Sorry, lemon basil microgreens are my number one, but they are a pain in the butt to grow more so than cilantro. But cilantro is definitely you put that on breakfast burritos. You put that on some lime cilantro coleslaw. Oh, so good. So anyway, that's all I got. There's one person watching now. If no one ever watches this video, that's fine, but it'll be here. Hopefully, someone gleans something from it. And with that, I'm out. Have a good day, everyone.